Well, I think this is a little, like, too much of a good thing.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. And then
That's the point.
gratitude can become emotional denial. Forced gratitude is just toxic positivity wearing a holiday
Well,
sweater.
sure. I get all of that.
Yeah.
I get all those things. I get all of that. But sometimes you gotta take a moment and count a few of the things. Because I got way too much fucking negativity going on.
Well, let's see how it goes.
So this is me just also trying to squash that vibe out of my life.
Tannah wants gratitude as toxic positivity.
I don't want it as toxic positivity. I just want like a God, can we just like give each other a fucking break? You know?
Maybe it's not gratitude.
Like we're
Maybe
all
it's
just human.
maybe it's
Like let's just be
grace.
grateful we're on the journey together. And have like how do we get a we get to
Instead of a we have to.
instead of a we have to, or they don't do it that, or they don't do it right, or they don't do it how I want them to do it, or like can we all just, I think it's also like just a little bit of like hey, even be like if it isn't all sunshine and roses, that's fine, but there's also something to learn from it, right? Like, I think about everything like we're going through with Keegan, right? It's like, had I not like done so much research and done all of the things that we did today, he would be having a much harder time than he is right now.
Yes. All right.
Which means I'm a good parent, which means I'm not fucking everything up.
You are a good parent.
And if that's toxic positivity, I don't give a shit.
Okay. All right. We're going to actually start this thing. I'm going to leave some of that in. Welcome to Enneagram Adventure. Adventure, if I can talk. This is Tannah and I's podcast where we talk about life and all sorts of things through the lens of the Enneagram. Tannah and I are both IEQ 9 certified coaches with that Enneagram tool. So we do use that particular tool when we talk about coaching, development, learning to give feedback, developing teams, etc., etc. Anything you want to add to that?
Just that, like in this one in particular, a good reminder is that behaviors are not always indicative of your number. It is based off of your core motivation. So it is different than other personality assessments. And I think that's important today because we're going to talk about some behaviors probably. So,
Yes. So this, Tannah and I are recording just a couple days before Thanksgiving. If I can get my crap together, this will get released on Thanksgiving Day. There is a chance it's going to come out the day after because life, holidays, etc. But in the spirit of Thanksgiving and the week that we're in, we're going to talk about Enneagram types and gratitude, and maybe a little bit about the right spirit of gratitude, not gratitude through
yeah,
gritted teeth.
yeah. It feels for me like I need a little case of the, like, you know what? Fuck it. Gratitude. We're all here.
It could be worse.
Shit. It's going to be fine. You know what? It's going to be fine at some point. Maybe not right now. Oh, man. I think it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm coming off of like, having done the two halves and like the vibes of the race like scene, and like people are cheering you on and people are just like happy to be there, and I'm like running with the guy we ran with, and I was like, and he's like, you know what, we fucking get to, and I'm like, you're right, we fucking get to, it's snowing but we fucking get to.
The we get to is a really important reframe when things are difficult.
Yes.
And that can, there's like a lot of things where it's like for in the physical realm, right? Where it's like be grateful that you have a body that allows you the ability to do these hard things because not everybody has that. And sometimes I remind myself of that, like, yeah, like I'm grateful that I am capable of this. I'm grateful that I'm strong enough for this. I'm grateful that, like, I choose this life versus another life where, maybe it's less healthy options. So I think that I get to is a reframe for gratitude, and I think that could work for any number. I think what gets sticky in the I get to is if you're needing to use that to force yourself through something. And I don't mean in like the physical sense, I'm meaning like an interaction or I'm not articulating this well because you can still reframe it that way, but it's like if you got to go to your in-laws for Thanksgiving this week and you don't want to go, telling yourself over and over and over, I get to, might not help. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
So many people are like, retweet. I think, well, it's the toxic side of gratitude. Before we decided on this topic, we were like riffing before this started about how like it's a little bit of the too much of a good thing, right? Too much of anything is unhealthy, right?
Right. Anything in excess is a weakness.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's that. It's also I think I get to, and it being good for every number is good. Maybe we should have had a 7 on this podcast so they could constantly reframe everything that we say into a yeah, but. Yeah, but.
I can try to like lean into that and like find my way through it. I think about it from the standpoint of no one in my family listens to this podcast, which is fine. So I'm not in a whole lot of danger saying what I'm about to say. But it can be really hard to like pull family together and the anticipation of family coming together. You know, how's everyone going to show up and is it going to feel safe? Is it going to feel forced? You know, what if somebody says something where you're like going to have to bite your tongue because you don't want to snap back? Especially we're in a contentious political climate, and that can be a topic that comes up at family dinners, at least in my family's past history.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so there can be anxiety that's tied to this whole idea too. And for me personally, I'm trying to think about it from the standpoint of I've done a lot of personal work in the last couple of years. You know, here I sit at, this will be my 3rd holiday season where I'm working with Brandon through a holiday season. So, but
That's great.
Just thinking about it from that standpoint of like, okay, this is also a little bit of a test. Like, where have I like regulated and won't have the same big feelings and am in the place to meet people where they're at. And so maybe that's the reframe. How do you get to show up to these things that you're not sure you want to and meet people where they're at?
Yeah, my biggest thing is doing that without judgment because then I get resentful.
Say more.
Like, I'll get, like, here I am meeting you where you're at again, and you haven't done the work to understand anyone else's perspective or anyone else's opinion, or, like, this is the way that you choose to live your life. Like, I get kind of judgy about it.
Well,
I don't ever, there's never been, well, how do I say this? I will say that before I ever worked with Brandon, that was much more prevalent than it is today. But if I get it in large doses, it's like impossible for me to swim through. It's like a muck, like a muddy, opinionated muck that I'm like, well, this is too exhausting. So I'm just going to be angry about it, which ironically is probably more exhausting.
right. Like, so then you're spending emotional
Yeah.
energy on being angry about it.
Well, it's the resistance to it that I'm spending energy on.
Yeah. Wishing they were different.
Yeah, because there's right and wrong.
Oh, goodness. I had this conversation with a 1 earlier this week where we talked about like right and wrong. And I said something, I said something along the lines of, I think most people can like agree on like some basics that are like universally right and wrong, like killing people. Yeah.
Wrong.
And she said to me, she's like, well, it could depend on who you ask because, you know, sociopaths, they might not think it's wrong.
Oh my
I was
God,
like,
you guys.
okay. She's a 1 who thinks like a 6. So it was just very like, all right, devil's advocate, got it. Okay.
Oh my
So, I
goodness.
mean, just to say there's right and wrong, even like most black and white number on the Enneagram, we had a little back and forth about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I I think it's just the multitude. Guys, selfishly, I chose this topic because I am stuck in the shit right now. I am stuck in everyone's negativity. I'm sick of it.
Well, if you think about that though, like, and you're stuck there, like, what's your judgment on yourself about being stuck there?
Well, my judgment on myself about being stuck there is it's exhausting. I'm exhausted. It's like the oh, my friend. It's the well, okay, this might be a little bit of a full circle moment. Like maybe I've been trying to push this like but it's going to be okay and it's going to be fine, like the toxic side. Maybe I've been pushing that too much, which is why I'm exhausted.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think it's good for us to talk about like like gratitude from like a healthy place. How do we reframe things when
Yeah.
in a way that isn't toxic? But at the same time, I think you should honor like if it feels really bad at the moment for some reason, just like honor that and be like it's okay. It's also okay for it not to feel awesome.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. And I think it's just the other thing, to be perfectly honest, is like we're heading into the holidays. And I know that like moms are the magic makers, not in all cases, but it's like doing all the shopping, doing all the wrapping, doing like all of the little magical things that they'll do hopefully with their families someday or whatever. It's those things that like I think maybe I'm spinning myself out on a little bit. And I'm probably not alone. Like, I'm sure there's people listening who either dread this time of the year for other reasons or, like, have so much going on. So, while, like, we have 5 Christmases to go to every year
That's a lot.
is a lot. It's like those are, my kids love every second of it. Every second. And it's like we're creating like this foundation of like memories for them that are positive. Like it's not like they go to these things and like we if there's ever a thing that we have to unpack, it's like we wait until bedtime. Unless I'm in the car and I'm like, "Oh my God, did you read what I was reading and in that person?" And my husband's like, "No."
The eight's like what
The
vibes?
eight, the eight's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't catch that?" It's I think that it might be a little bit of the two in me. That's like I've been trying really hard to rise above and then I'm just like tired, you know?
Yeah. Well, earlier today, you and I had a conversation where I was like, hey, as a reminder, maybe don't take on that other person's feelings.
My God, I've been doing that so much lately.
I think some of it, when you think about it, that's the exhaustion, right? And that's part of why you're burning out and you're wanting people to like notice and be grateful and be accepting and all of this stuff. When in fact, that's like some of it is just like allowing yourself to be like, this time of year is hard. And it doesn't mean you
Yeah, I
don't
feel like,
like it. It doesn't mean you don't want to do the things, but it doesn't mean it's not
yeah,
hard emotionally.
yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm in every aspect of my life right now. Like the mom that's taking her family to go do family photos. And I'm like, everyone look like you like each other. Everyone loves each other. Right? Right.
They're like, yeah, sometimes, mom.
Oh my God. And like the photographer has to like Photoshop in or like superimpose me into a picture because I'm like busy screaming at someone in the corner. But I think going back to why I wanted this topic, a little along the lines of like, I need to recognize that I'm taking on other people's feelings in order to be able to like pause in the moment and reflect on it, right? But it's also and this is through work with Brandon, it is a gift. It is a gift that I am able to sense that from other people. Just use your powers for good, Tannah.
Well, I think if we just like a little bit, let's just like go through your tri-type. We'll just do those numbers really quick first. Obviously, we didn't say this in the opening. If you're new here, Tannah is a social 2. I am a 1-to-1-5 in terms of Enneagram type. And so we're talking a lot about like your feelings and the 2 stuff that's coming up, which all makes sense in your type for this time of year, but then also where the resentment builds of where you're like, nobody's noticing. How come nobody else is caring as much as I care? Or, you know, all of that sort of stuff, right? That's the mom, the gritted teeth, right? Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Right.
I think it's along the lines of how can you find a way that you don't need to be validated in that, like, in that way for yourself, or have an expectation for somebody else to give gratitude.
I think it's more the expectation at this point, because I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I just want to get the shit checked off the list. Like, I just want to do it, be done.
Well, you're leaning on the
the
three wing.
Yes,
there.
I've passed the recognition point, and I'm like at the, we're gonna do all this shit, we're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fucking fine.
And it will be.
And it will be. I need to pause in some of these moments where I'm taking all this stuff on and figure out what's mine, what's theirs, and who needs to do with what.
Yes.
Because right now I'm doing the who needs to do with what, and it's me. It's the me needs to do all the things with all the whats.
You're married to a highly capable adult who can help you.
Man, that guy. Better be careful after this podcast. It's gonna have a damn list.
Okay, so
I'm grateful for the ability to feel feeling, and maybe this time of year produces like more feelings in general for everyone. So that's probably another thing I'm taking on. It's like more joy, more sadness, more frustration, like just more of everything.
Yeah.
And I pick up on that so much. So maybe it's that.
Yeah.
But I think that this is why you bring up a good point, and I am grateful for my 8 spouse who has the ability to see clearly beyond what is his to do and what is anyone else's to do, because he will tell the other person what's theirs to do. I think it's like I just need to lean in and use that to my advantage. Be like, here's all the shit that I need to get done. What are you taking?
Yeah. Well, and there has to be, in this time of year, there has to be that. And especially if you're a big feeling number, you can get bogged down by that and let it steal away like the joy of whatever's happening in this time of year. Mm-hmm. I'm just over here in denial. I don't know if it's the acts like a 9, if it's the withdrawing. I don't know. I'm just like fully in denial that this week is like the start of the holiday season. I mean, like fully. Like,
will it help that we're gonna get like 5 inches of snow between Friday and Saturday?
No, that'll just piss me off.
Or Sunday.
Yeah, I'll just be pissed about that. Like, no.
Yeah. Maybe you need another vacation.
Okay. I think, yeah, I'm like, oh, sure. I think
okay.
I think some of it is just because, well, Aaron, we've talked about this multiple times on the podcast. Aaron and I don't have kids, so I don't kind of get sucked into the like kid holiday activities.
Yes.
And prior to the work I do today, for a number of years, I worked in retail and managed a retail store.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
That also just really made the holidays like not a fun time for me. So I don't like to decorate, and we haven't had a Christmas tree in years and years and years and years, because I'm like, it's just a pain in the ass to clean it up. Like, that's what I think about. Like, I get into the like future me. This is the 5, and maybe other 5s don't feel this way, but that's like the future of like, this is such a waste of time, right? Like, I'm going to set this all up. It's going to be here for like 3 weeks. And then I'm going to be pissed when I have to clean it up and put it away.
Inevitably. Yes. Yes.
It's the same energy for me that makes me like, you know, when you cook something in a pan, where I'll eat directly out of the pan so that I don't dirty another plate, so I don't have to wash an extra dish.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's 3 energy. It's more efficient.
It's mostly about how much I hate to do those kinds of tasks.
Oh my God. That's funny. Well, okay. So, like, when do you feel like, as of late, where you've shown up with gratitude? And you're going to say when I was on vacation, I think.
Well, I think there are multiple times, you know, I don't think of it as like a selective thing. I think there's certain moments every day where I kind of have like, I'm so grateful for this, or I'm so grateful for that person, or like, and it's not, that sounds like cliche in some ways, but I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this the other day. This is a little bit of a rabbit hole. I'm going to try to tie it back to gratitude, but you grow up hearing these like buzzwords all the time, right? And on Thanksgiving, and you're a little kid, and you have to go around the table and say 3 things you're thankful for, and it's mom, dad, my teacher, my Legos, my whatever, right? And you're like a tiny kid. You actually don't have any idea what it means, right? They're just words.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. It's so funny you say this because my youngest brought home like this little wheel with like a pin thing in the middle, and
Yeah.
you like spin it and there's an opening. It's like, I'm grateful for. It's like my mom and dad, my grandma and grandpa, my other grandma and grandpa, Leo, his friend,
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right. But like, because you can't actually like concept like that gratitude as a
No.
feeling, right? So I was thinking about this,
No.
and I was thinking about moments where like I had like genuine gratitude, and actually where it was not performative in any way. Nobody made me say the thing. And I was having, it was sort of like also this moment of, I recently, like over the summer, had this moment where I was genuinely very proud of someone from like a past life, a very, very long past life ago, like high school past life, where like I saw a social post of something they had accomplished, and I was like, damn it, I am just like so proud of them, and like how far it's the journey for them to get from like who I knew in high school to accomplishing this thing. And I like had this feeling, and I was like, oh, that's like the genuine I'm proud of you. Not the like performative I'm so proud of you. Not the I'm just saying it because it's the right thing to say. And anyway, my reflection on all of that and where I was going is like that's true gratitude, right?
Yeah.
And how do we find our way into like these feelings where it's like, I'm not just saying I'm grateful for whatever, but I truly am. And and I truly feel it. It's not. And maybe it's just
I wonder.
me because I'm so high thinking and I'm a head number and all this. I don't know.
I wonder when the actual recognition of that sets in, because to the point of like my kid making the like little thing,
Yeah.
the thing they're thinking, this is the same kid that thought another kid passed on his pee in his pants at nap. He's like, oh, that kid gave me the pee pants. And I'm like, peeing your pants at nap is not a cold.
Right.
You're peeing your pants. Good news, it's not age 4.
Right.
I need everyone to know that. But I do wonder what age that starts and what has to happen in your life for that feeling. Because sometimes maybe it's not gratitude. Maybe it's like, you know, like you think of all the people that, you know, maybe didn't have a, you know, even a warm place to go on Thanksgiving when they were a kid. Does that develop earlier?
Like a sense of gratitude?
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering as you were saying that, how much of like true gratitude has to be born from a place of knowing what it feels to be really safe.
Welcome to Holly's section of the podcast called the Holly's Profound Corner. And that's a very big question.
Well, because if you are in survival mode, right, you might not be able to
Yeah.
be more than performatively grateful because you don't know like what's happening next.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like I was just thinking about like how do you get to that place? And there have been moments where people have like showed up for me in my life in ways that were unexpected, where I have been like genuinely like, "Oh my God, I can't I am so grateful that you're here right now and that you showed up for me
Mm-hmm.
when you could have done anything else. You didn't have to be here." And so those are the
Mm-hmm.
moments I think about. So to get all the way back to your very original question 10 minutes ago, that's like the, it's that you, it's the recognition for me. That's when I feel like true gratitude of like, you really didn't have to do that. And I know that you didn't do it for anything in return, that I am the most grateful.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, if you think about it, the example I'll give is like I have two best friends from young, you know, I don't know, middle school, somewhere around in there. And they are still like two of my very best friends. And they have seen, have you ever seen those memes? That's like, adulting is strange. You've seen someone drink a Four Loko out of an Ugg boot, and now they have a child named Arthur. You know? Like,
Yeah.
it's like these people that have seen like so many versions of you, but are still there.
Yeah.
Similar to like the one I've seen where like my husband is very judgmental for someone who's had custody of me since age 21. He should have raised me better. Like, all joking aside though, I think it's like it's the for me, I think it's well, okay, this is interesting because this goes back to relationships for me, which is very two.
Yeah.
It's like the people who have known so many versions of me that were young, dumb, annoying, like as you go through all of the stages. And for them to still be like those people, and I could go like months without speaking to them, and I could pick up a phone and call them, and they would act like I just talked to them yesterday.
Right.
There's like studies behind that. I think it's like if you're that close for how many years, it's like a lifetime relationship or something.
It's like, well, I think 7 years is like the thing they say is like if you stayed friends with someone for 7 years, it'll be a lifetime friendship or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I totally buy into that there's a time frame because I think it doesn't have,
People
yeah.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think I feel gratitude around similar but different. It's the people who continue to show up, but they've known so many versions of me.
Right. They don't judge, right? Like they're not going,
Yeah.
remember when you were 13 and you did blah, blah, blah. Like,
I mean, they definitely still do that, but we do it all to each other. No.
well, I mean it in like a judgmental way, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, and maybe that's why I'm feeling triggered because I'm feeling judgy. I'm judging.
You want all of us to two with you? Is that what this is?
No, I want, it's not awareness. It's not the right word. I think it's the mirror concept. It's like I'm not aware enough to see what my problem is, but I'm mad at everybody for not being aware. Like, I think it's that.
Okay.
I think it's that. She's not buying it, but
I'm more stuck on the we've got and this is not, look, we're down the development rabbit hole here, guys. So if we don't really hit all the Enneagram numbers, you're gonna have to be a little forgiving on this one. But I think I'm more on the whole thing of like there's some feeling or something, right, that's causing this for you. That's like if you could sort of identify like that more specifically, you'd be able to let it go. Like
yeah.
I yeah.
Well, it's shame, right?
But what is it tied to?
Judgment.
Well, but you're shaming yourself for judgment, but there's a reason, like, there's an underlying story or, like, an underlying something, right, that's causing you to, like, do that. And then you're, like, doubling it down by being like, I shouldn't be judgmental. And so now I feel shame, and I'm going to shame myself for being judgmental. And I'm going to try to, like, toxic positivity this judgment away. All the while, it's just making it worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's because everybody in their life has been judged at some point, right?
But then why are you, but then,
So maybe I don't, like, maybe that's me thinking about when I was judged and how it made me feel.
but then you're doing it?
Yeah. Brandon used to tell me that all the time. Like, you recognize why that feels shameful, right? Well, has
Yeah.
that ever happened to you? Yeah.
I mean, in a perfect world, this goes back to how we opened. Like, in a perfect world, it's not just about gratitude, right? It's also about grace.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know. Like, I don't want, like, undying gratitude from someone ever. I don't necessarily even want someone, like, if I do something for them, most of the time I would like them to just, like, accept it and not say anything. Like, don't say anything. Like, just be like, moving on. Got it. I don't need, like, thank you is not necessary and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. Because I don't do it for the thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, it's more like if there's one thing that I wish other people did better, it's the grace side of it. It's the like allowing for the mistakes, allowing for the humanness, allowing for somebody to express themselves, and their way of expressing it is okay. It doesn't have to mean a whole bunch of things. Or right? Like I think that's for me. That would be like my if everybody I don't think everybody needs to be more grateful, but if everybody could just allow each other a little more grace.
That makes sense. I get it. I get it.
I say all that, and at the same time, I very much am a believer in the like, if you're like a manifesting person and you believe in that, right? There is an element of like, I love my life. I'm grateful for what I have today that I think builds on that. So I'm talking mostly about like in relationship as opposed to like physical needs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I took it. I
Okay.
think that it is a yes and for me though, because there is a element of me that does it for the thank you. It's just ingrained like in my number. So that's something I'll work on forever, I think. It's the to your point, the showing up though that I would expect. And are they showing up in the way that I have the expectation that they show up? That's kind of the, but to the manifestation point, right? Like, this is another Brandon thing that he's like, I need to lower the expectation. Like, just be realistic about the expectation.
Is that, well, just to like for a second on the, because your neck's like a one, is that like the one thing of the expectation, do you think? Like I have this expectation of how people show up, because ones can have that, like very black and white. I expect this and I want that.
It might be one, it feels a little more three, well, maybe not. I think it's the right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's the one. Back to the very beginning of our conversation. It's the right and wrong. And the layer that in with the desire to always be better, quote unquote, win.
Yeah. Which is one and three, depending on how you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think. I do think the nines in my life seem to practice either like the polar opposites. Like the nines that I have in my life are either like, well, I'm just happy to be here, right? Or they're like, you know what, fuck it. Nothing I say or do is gonna change it anyway. So like, whatever.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Like it's the a little bit of a sleep to it, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're not like totally impervious to all the things. Like there's a nine you and I know who's a little bit celebrating the opportunity to delay attending a family vacation or a family Thanksgiving. Sorry, family vacation, a family
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, right? Because of another obligation. So I think I think there is like some stuff that is also just a little bit human in that. And I think when I think about meeting people where they are, and I think about the anxiety around family gatherings at the holidays, and maybe you feel differently, but I think some of it is this, oh, I'm going to have to show up and be somebody I'm not. I'm going to have to show up and I'm going to have to play this role. I'm going to have to, go back and be the person that they expect me to be. And maybe I'm not that person anymore. And then that's part of what feels exhausting too, is like, I don't want to let all of these people down, or I don't want to disappoint them. And maybe if I showed up as my whole authentic self, like that would be a disappointment to a parent who sees you in a certain way or something like that, or a grandparent or whatever. Let me just give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a friend who, she does listen to this. I don't know if she'll listen to this episode, but we have a friend who's been with a partner for a long time. And when they visit an elderly family member, they act like they are two best friends who have just lived together for the last 20 years. And just, it's unfortunate that neither of them have met the right man. Exhausting.
Oh my God, that's so exhausting.
So,
It's so exhausting.
right. So if you like think about the times where you have to show up at these events and you would have to be the perfect daughter-in-law, or the son who still wants to talk about fishing and hunting even though that's not anything that you care about anymore, or I make it up, right? Whatever the story is that you've got to go into this family thing and like play your role.
I mean, I'm sure that's it for a lot of people. I personally do not feel that way. I feel more of like there's specific events that I attend where I'm like, I have a vision of right and wrong, and like sometimes I just know too much, like by virtue of just like hearing it from other family members or whatever. And the amount of restraint that I have to practice to not be like, so I heard about this thing, and like, what do we need to do to fix this? Like, what? Like,
Is it your desire to fix it?
I wonder if I don't think it's more the desire to fix it. I think it's more of the right and wrong. It feels very one.
Yeah.
Feels very one. Whereas my husband can walk into my 8 husband can walk into any event and you will know if he wants to be there or not.
I mean, that is
Like, if there's a judgment that he has, it just falls right out of his mouth.
I mean, in some ways, that is like the gift, right? And I think there's a lesson
Yeah.
in that for like every other number. Like, don't be a dick, right? Like, you can be respectful,
Right.
but like, also, if somebody says a thing, you don't have to like protect anyone's feelings. You can be like, hey, man, that was out of line.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He just does it where, like, he says what he thinks is wrong.
The whole thing.
I just keep it to myself.
And then he's probably like, it's a them problem. If they're offended by that, it's not a me problem, it's a them problem, which is not
Yeah.
wrong. They're not wrong.
If you're offended by that, it's not my problem. I'm like, well, but the thing you said isn't always fact. It's more of like, that's how you see it.
This is like where it gets like very dangerous, but I do appreciate the 8s who are just like, it is what it is. Like, this is the thing.
Totally.
I appreciate that in them.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the 7s who are like, we're all just gonna have a great time. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, I can appreciate that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have a 6 in my life that has told me that she feels the most gratitude. It's tied to relief. Like, she thought through all of the things that could have possibly happened and there's relief.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, like, it's this calm that comes over.
Well, that goes back to that thing that you shared a few, right? Where like, You basically
I sent it to her after we
Yeah.
talked about it.
Yep, where you've tricked your brain into believing that overthinking is what protects you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You've trained your brain to get a release of serotonin when the worst case scenario hasn't happened.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is the chemical release of gratitude? Do we know?
I don't know. We could ask our friend Google.
Yeah, I do want to ask.
It might be
What is
oxytocin. Oxytocin? Do you feel closer to
chemical
someone? No, no. Dopamine? Is it dopamine?
when experiencing gratitude? Dopamine.
Dopamine. There you go,
Experiencing
folks.
gratitude releases several feel-good chemicals in the brain, including dopamine, which is linked to reward and motivation, and serotonin, which is associated with happiness and well-being. It can also trigger the release of oxytocin,
Yep.
the bonding hormone.
Yes.
So, especially when gratitude is expressed to others with the oxytocin, it reduces cortisol in your brain.
Yeah, I think about that all makes sense to me, right? When I'm talking about what I associate with gratitude being that like when somebody showed up for me and I didn't expect them to and they didn't do it wanting anything in return, that is definitely I would guess for me is oxytocin. It's the it because it's a closeness then to that person.
Yeah, I can think that makes a lot of sense. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
One of the high school best friends I was just talking about. So she's been with the same partner for like ever. And she really wanted to be a mom. She's also a 2. And she just had a baby recently. And I like went to go to her house and meet the baby. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, you're a mom. And I'm so happy for you. And you're so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that feeling. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the chemicals. That's
Yeah.
it. Right. Yes. There's a dog on my lap, and I feel gratitude for that.
There you go. Mine are both sleeping on the floor here.
I'm surprised the mic didn't pick up his snoring on my lap here. Well,
All right.
should we close with chemical releases? That's good to know.
I think that
Feels
works really well.
resolved for me.
Yeah. All humans have those neural that's not the right word. They're hormones. No?
Yeah.
Whatever they are. Every human has them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's great
Yeah.
regardless of your number. And yeah, this was a little winding road sort of podcast. So, thanks for sticking it out with us. We hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. If you listen to this after, hope it was awesome. Hopefully it went way better than you expected. And I do want to nod, last week we talked about doing a podcast about astrological signs and the ties to the Enneagram. We're still doing that. We're still collecting data though. So I recently put on the Instagram stories a little like tell us about your sign and your Enneagram number. And I collected a handful of things there. We need a little more. So you might see some other polls, some other questions come through where we're looking for, some input on that. If anybody happens to be like an expert astrology person, like, man, jump into our DMs or comment or something. We'd love to chat.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Holly. Everyone like, share, comment.
Subscribe. Leave a review.
All the things. This was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. See you later, Tannah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.